Hi, it's Tim Hagen from Progress Coaching, and welcome to another episode for the Coaching Conversations podcast. Now, we are on Stitcher, we are on iTunes, and multiple different channels. Please check us out. Now, one of the things that you'll get out of our podcast episodes is a lot of content, a lot of strategy. It's not fluff, it's not concept, yet we really want you to engage with the content and let us know your feedback. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. If there's topics you'd love to have us address, we would love to share them with you. Let us know your impact and let us know your feedback. The biggest challenge that we have in the coaching field is really understanding, I would say, our core objective. See, a lot of times when we're coaching, we can also have people redefine coaching. So let me give you three fundamental views of what coaching can be, or the types of coaching. Number one, spot coaching. Some people call it observational coaching. When we spot something, we then coach to it. So if we see a teller in a credit union asking closed-ended questions and they should be asking open-ended questions, we spot that. Here's the funny thing. When we spot things, we're typically triggered by what we see as wrong or things that we want to correct. Yet we also know the flip side of that is the Gallup organization reports people engage 8 times more when we lead with strengths. That's why we coach. That's why we leverage strengths. Number two, situational coaching. Situational coaching can be where a situation is brought or created that a leader has to coach to, such as two employees not working well together. What do we typically do? We bring them in. We rhetorically tell them they've got to work better together, like they don't know that. And then when the conversation ends, we say to ourselves, well, that was my coaching session. Two people who aren't working well together are going to need a lot of coaching to continue to work well together, so it becomes a second innate behavioral habit. The third type of coaching is what we teach. It doesn't mean it's the only thing that leaders should do, but that's continuous coaching. Calendar-driven coaching, scheduled sessions, focus on a particular area of development. Here's why. If you take a basketball player, they have to play defense, they have to play offense. We could probably coach to 100 things on both sides, from both offense and defense. So if I talked about every single thing that went into dribbling, shooting, form, running plays, it would be overwhelming. So we encourage people to pick one or two things, focus on that over a period of time until they have predictable, sustainable results. What are the stages that we know that they get there? First, it's effort. Are they producing effort? When you have people at the effort stage, just reward them. Stay away from constructive feedback. Number two, when they get to the progress level, which is right between effort and results, and we pinpoint where they're progressing, they know what to repeat. Yet if we only do spot coaching and we're typically triggered by what's wrong, they will never know where they're progressing. So here's the challenge that we have, everybody. When we're coaching, we have to realize fundamentally, and there's certainly more, we can spot coach, which tends to lean towards the constructive. We can situationally coach. We tend to put ourselves into a false sense of accomplishment saying, well, I coach them. People change slow. People require coaching on a continuous basis. So I always love Michael Phelps' depiction of coaching, along with Katie Ledecky, probably the two most decorated Olympians in American history. I think in the history of the Olympics. And he would always say about his coach, he said, look, I know how to do a stroke. Yet I also know that I can create some bad habits where I start to cut corners with my stroke. It requires a coach to see that, but then I have to put it into practice. The same premise, the same exact premise holds true for leaders. To become better coaches, we have to practice. And yes, it requires what I call conversational excellence, not conversational perspective, conversational excellence. See, when we're improving, we feel better. Evidenced by the study at Harvard by Teresa Amabile in her book called The Progress Principle. When we are progressing, we are at our most motivated state 76% of the time. Almost 8 out of 10 employees said, I feel at my most motivated state when I'm progressing, not reward, recognition, and money. So human beings require coaching. They require positivity. They need positivity. When you spot coach, go look for the good stuff because there's a lot out there. What are your thoughts? Thank you for listening to another episode of Coaching Conversations by Tim Hagen and Progress Coaching. Now, our company is always coming out with new and innovative solutions to help leaders coach their employees. And recently, we just created a new service called Coach to You, where leaders can pick and choose topics and assign 7 to 21-day programs for employees to learn and, more importantly, apply actions and then reflect and share what they're going to do going forward as a result of the learning. It's called Coach to You. We're literally bringing coaching to your employees. If you're intrigued, we'll have a link in each one of our episodes where you can get more information. And again, thank you so much for listening to another episode.